in September of 2023. So last September, our next guest boarded a Swan 57 sailboat with 10 strangers to spend 165 days at sea with no technology or navigational guides as part of what they call the first ever Ocean Globe race. They were trying to recreate a 1970s racing experience for amateur, important to note, for amateur, not professional sailors. Her name is Catheryne Langford. She's back. She's from Quebec's Magdalen Islands, and the only Canadian, by the way, selected out of thousands who applied to go on this race, and she is on the line. Catheryne, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, welcome. Thank you to invite me.
It's my pleasure. Listen, I was reading about what you went through on this, and I will point out, I want to start at the end instead of the beginning, because I think the last thing in the story I read said, even if it's a dream, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. So let's start from there. It wasn't exactly the way you imagined it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like everything. It's always a bit different from what you expect. You know, like when you go sailing, it's not always pretty. Sometimes it's stormy, but actually it was not what was the hardest part. We can go through it while we talk about it, but for me it was the social part, the hardest part.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, you mentioned in the story, and again, you didn't know these people you were on there with. You got chosen because thousands of people applied. You were lucky enough to get picked. But in reading your story, you say, and I found this really interesting, you know, these are not your friends. They're not necessarily people you know, and it can be a pretty lonely experience.
Yeah, like we just got chosen for our skills, and we got put on this boat without knowing each other. So we had to learn how to work together, how to appreciate each other while we were sailing. And especially on the last race, we were 69 days at sea. So it's a long time without seeing our family and being stuck together on a ship, because we can't say, okay, I'm upset, so I'm going to go for a walk or have a break. But, you know, like we were here for the same goal. We wanted to go around the world. We wanted to go sailing. So we need to focus on the dream that we share. And that's the main thing, I think, to keep us focused.
I would ask, though, because in trying to understand this, I mentioned off the top, it wasn't for professional sailors. It was for amateurs. That was the whole point here. But you already had a basis in sailing. Otherwise, you wouldn't have got picked at all. You need to have some skills, right? Yeah, for sure. You need to be able to sail. Like, I mean, if you just go for day sailing, it's not for you. And being at sea in a big race around the world and you don't have any experience, it can be really rough for you. So my experience was mostly on a tall ship. 6 years ago, I was in a race on a tall ship, so I got a few miles. But mostly I'm a merchant mariner, so rough seas, it's just normal for me, I would say. Yeah.
But it's really different on a sailboat, like on a small boat. Even 57, when you're 10 people on board, it's quite small.
Did you have any moments during this entire time, and I said it took 57 days, where you thought to yourself, I'm in over my head?
I said 69 days for the last race. Yeah.
Did you ever have a moment where you thought, you know what, I made a mistake, I didn't want to, I shouldn't have been here?
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone that participated in the race had this thought, because it's a long way, and you miss home, and you know, like I said, it's not always calm, and you're stuck on the boat. And sometimes I was scared because we had rough weather. But at the end of the day, when you have a good day at sea, there's a lot of wind, you have the sun, you know that you're here for the right reason. So I don't have any regret. I'm really proud that I've made it, and it was my dream. So yes, for sure, all the dreams have their ups and downs, but I don't know. If you're there for the good reason, you will have fun. Could
you say, first of all, and I didn't know this until I read the story, this was not exactly inexpensive, right? This cost a lot of money for you.
Oh my God, yeah. It depends of each boat. Each boat has their own way to work. The boat I applied on was $55,000 just to apply. So it doesn't count the flight, it doesn't count the gear, it doesn't count when you arrive on shore and you need to pay for accommodation and food. So yeah, it was actually really hard to find the money to participate it, and I didn't find it. So I had to take a loan to do it. A lot of people thought I was a bit crazy. So I think you need to be a bit crazy if you want to do like big adventures. But like I said, I have no regrets. That was my dream, and I've done it. So
good for you. Yeah, I read as well when you talk about how tough it was the last part of the trip where you were going, I guess, from Uruguay to England, right? You said that was particularly tense. I wonder, a quote you wrote, we were really late, no hot drinks, we had a cold lunch, no shower on board, so you shower with a cold bucket of seawater. Sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, all the way, all around the world, no shower. So you need to shower when it's warm outside with sea buckets. And when you arrive on shore, you're really happy to have a hot shower.
I bet. So you've done it. This was the dream. You did this, what, for your birthday at the time? Were you turning 30?
Yeah, I was turning 30, and I saw a post. I'm following sailing race around the world, and I saw that one crew was looking for more crew, and I just thought, okay, I have nothing to do, so I'll just apply. And I think 2 months later, they called me back and they said they were interested in my application. But the thing is, I was really happy, but now I needed to find the money to do it.
Sure.
So that was a big challenge. But when you want something, you need to do everything you can to achieve it. Yes, for sure. At 30 years old, I'm pretty young. Now I turned 31, but at 30 years old, I thought, okay, maybe it's too big for me. But you take one day at a time, and at the end, you spent 165 days at sea.
Wow. Can't imagine. I mean, that's a memory obviously you'll have for the rest of your life. Are you planning anything like this again? I mean, now that you got a taste of this, or is this it once and done?
For sure, I realized that I'm more a solo sailor than a crew sailor. When I was sailing, I was taking notes of, okay, what should I need for my next trip? For sure, I didn't do the second leg because I had family problem and I had to go back home. So I didn't do a full circumnavigation, and it would be on my list of the next goal. But we'll see. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of learning. I'm not ready yet. But the thing that we need to also say is the special thing about this race is a retro sailing race around the world. We had no technology on board, so no GPS, no cell phone, no Spotify. So if I wanted to listen music, we had a cassette player on board.
Wow.
So just that, it was another way of sailing. I learned how to use a sextant. So I don't think my next race would be like a retro race.
Yeah.
But for sure, I fell in love with the sextant.
So the sextant, that's kind of like your compass, I guess, right? To figure out where you are? Is that how that works?
Yeah, it's a tool that was used in the old days.
Okay.
And you fix the sun and you bring the sun to the horizon. And with some books, you find the angle of the sun at the horizon.
Wow.
And you find your position. So it's not like, okay, it's so easy now to know where you are just by opening your phone or your GPS. And for me, it was a bit romantic to just say, okay, you need to work for your position. And I just fell in love with that.
It sounds amazing. Listen, congratulations to you, and look forward to your next adventure. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Take good care. Catheryne Langford lives out in the beautiful part of Quebec in the Magdalen Islands, taking that trip around, well, mostly around the world. I don't know. Nowadays it's, what is it? You just say, here's where we want to go, and boom, you're done. I can't imagine you. But that was the whole point of the race, right? To kind of as a throwback to the 1970s of what it would have been like to try to sail on one of these ships then. So congratulations to her.